Hello everyone, welcome to Pokédex, the channel where I build decks for the Pokemon trading card game. Today we're finally going to be looking at Fates Collide cards, and we're starting off not with Alakazam and not with Zygarde EX, but with Lucario, the stage 1, the metal type. This is a very interesting Pokemon. Actually, it asks us to build quite a unique deck. Fight alone for only 2 energy, does 30 damage plus... if you have fewer Pokemon in play than your opponent, this attack does 60 more damage for each Pokemon fewer you have in play. This seems kind of confusing, so I'll try to explain to you guys as simply as I can. Imagine your opponent has 3 Pokemon on their bench, and you only have 1 on yours. So that's 3 minus 1, so that's 2 Pokemon difference, and then you multiply that by 60, so it's 120, plus 30, it's 150. This actually has the potential to deal quite a huge amount of damage, so we're going to try to maximize that. If your opponent does not want to bench Pokemon, we're going to try to force them to, so that fight alone does a lot of damage. And quite easily we can take prizes on stuff like Shaymin EX and things like that. So Lucario is potentially very hard hitter, but it does have some challenges to it. One of them is you don't want to have a lot of Pokemon in your bench, and the other one is it takes 2 energy to attack. So we're going to be trying to build around that, and we're going to start looking into the deck card by card. We're starting off with Shaymin EX. I know we don't want to fill up our bench, but I guess Shaymin EX, there's no way around it. It's just too good not to play. So we can assume most of the times we're going to have 1 or 2 Pokemon in our own bench. But yeah, we usually have to be careful when we play our Shaymin EX. Try not to play them if we can avoid it. But yeah, it's such a powerful card. We are playing a 4-4 Lucario line. I can say something about Riolu. I'm playing the one with 70 HP from Fates Collide. I guess there's another one, but I think it only has 60 HP and it attacks for fighting energy. So this one attacks for Colossus. You never know where you need to deal 10 or 20 damage, but I don't think it makes too much difference other than the 70 HP. But yeah, Lucario, our only attacker in the deck, and then we're playing for Unknown. Unknown does a lot of different things for this deck. Well, it's a basic, so that our opponent doesn't take a million mulligans. Of course, Feral Ladder, we can just discard it when it's in our bench to draw extra cards, which is really nice, especially since N is back into the format. So if we are going down on prizes, having Unknown on our bench is really nice, because if our opponent ends us, we can just draw the cards back with Unknown. Sometimes we can't do that because we have to discard them to be able to attack. But yeah, it's a basic. Sometimes we promote it just to gain a little time while we charge up our Lucario, because once again it takes 2 energy to charge up. And sometimes our opponent kills our main attacker and we have to build another one from scratch, so we can throw Unknown into the active position and let it get knocked out nicely. It's a non-EX Pokemon. Most of our Pokemon are non-EXs, so that's really nice. We have 1 level ball. It allows us to grab both our Riolu and our Unknown. Sometimes we need those, so it's an extra card. If nothing else, it's like a card that we can use to draw another card, so it's always good. And then we have through Robosub. Obviously, we cannot start with Robosub as our first Pokemon, as our starter, but we can put it down, and once again, when we need to take some time to build our Lucario, it's really important to just throw Robosub in there. Our opponent takes a knockout, doesn't draw a prize, and we can just take that turn to play an energy and charge up our guys. So it's a very good tactical card. Both it and Unknown are also really nice against stuff like Parallel City. If we fill our bench with these guys and we drop a Shaymin, if we suspect our opponent is going to use Parallel City on us, we don't really care, because we discard the Shaymin and then afterwards we discard these guys. Unfortunately, that doesn't happen a lot, but what does happen more times is we play our Skyfield and we just fill our bench with these guys, and then our opponent trumps the Skyfield and we actually get rid of our Shaymin and then discard the guy. So there's all sorts of neat things that we can do with this, both Unknown and Robosub, so that our bench stays really low, while we still have basics just to avoid losing the game, I guess. We have 1 Super Rod in here, allows us to shuffle some Lucarios and Riolus back, and of course Metal Energy. We have 4 Target Whistle. This is a card you don't see a lot in many decks, and especially not as a 4-of, but it's so important in this deck because it allows us to bring our opponent's Pokemon back, especially if they're Shaymin. But if nothing else, we can just bring something else back and just deal 60 extra damage with Lucario. So it's super important that we have a lot of Target Whistles. I'm not saying we're going to play them all, but we want to have them a lot of times in our hand, and we don't want to worry too much about discarding them and all that. So I feel really nice by playing 4. We have 4 Trainer's Mail, also allows us to draw into the target whistle and all of our items, of course. 4 Ultra Ball, because it draws us both the Shaman and the Lucario. Of course, it also draws everything else, but those are the most important, I guess. 4 VS Seeker, to bring back our supporters, and those supporters are 1 AZ. This allows us to bring the Shamans back into our hands. Sometimes that means that AZ is going to be basically helping us deal 60 extra damage. So that's not only good like it is in most decks, because it allows us to get the Shamans out of arm. In this deck, it also allows us to deal extra damage. So really nice to have AZ around here. A couple of Lysander, also really good in this deck, combines really nicely with a target whistle, so I'm playing 2, like most decks play. I think it's okay with VS Seekers and all that, because we can always target whistle some Shaman back and grab them and take a couple of prizes really easily. I mean, the opponent just needs to have 2 Pokemon more than we do, so that we take a knockout on a Shaman with a Lucario. So it's really nice to take prizes with this deck. It's really easy to take prizes with this deck with Lucario around. We have 3N. It might seem contradictory because we want to take more prizes than our opponent is taking, but actually the opponent is going to take a lot of early knockouts on unknowns and stuff like that. And we actually don't mind giving them the unknowns and then playing N. We get rid of most of the cards from our opponent. We knock out their main attacker, and then they get to a position where we don't have anything in our bench, but they can't really attack us in any way with their guys. So they just have no way to killing our Lucario. Basically, that's it. So yeah, it's such a good card to play. And even in the early game, like we played, the opponent draws 6 cards, but as you guys know, if you weren't around when N last was played, it didn't make that much difference. Usually the opponent has Shamans and Sycamores and stuff like that, so they're going to have a full hand anyways, so it doesn't really matter. So N, awesome card. And of course, for Sycamore, still the best draw supporter in the format. We are playing 2 Skyfield. I mentioned before, sometimes the opponent trumps the Skyfields and all that, but yeah, I think Skyfield is great, especially against non-EX decks like Night March, stuff like that. They might fill their bench with Pokemon, non-Shaman Pokemon, so to speak, and then we might need to play this Skyfield. We trump their stadium, and we are able suddenly to use Target Whistle to grab their own Shaman out of their discard pile, and then we can Lysander it out. So that's mostly for that. I mean, this deck doesn't really need a stadium, but I feel like it's good to have a way to always use Target Whistle if we want to. And we always use this one to trump the opponent's stadium. So while not being the most important card in the deck, I feel like it does pull its weight sometimes. We have 3 experience share. This is one of the most important cards in the deck because it allows us to retain some energy into play. Once our main attacker gets knocked out, if we have an experience share on one of our Lucarios in the bench, it gets back one of the energy. So that's really good because just by attaching another one, we can keep attacking. As I mentioned, this deck, because it takes 2 energy to attack, that's kind of a disadvantage of Lucario, but by playing EXP share, we can actually get around that. We could be playing, I guess, a Muscle Band, but with a 2 bench Pokemon difference that we talked about, with a Muscle Band on, that would only mean 170 damage, so a lot of EX Pokemon wouldn't be killed anyways with that. So I guess that if we're going to try to aim for 3 Pokemon difference in the bench. So I guess EXP share is more important just to get those energies, keep those energy in play. We have a couple of float stones because we are playing a lot of unknowns and Shaman, and we want to be able to retreat from them. And then we have 8 metal energy. I think they are enough. I'm quite happy with those, with the tests I've been making with this deck. And of course we also have the Super Rod, which we can use to shuffle them back. So that's the deck. Let's go play it and see how we do. Alright, we got a match here. We're playing against Water, Colorless, and I guess Psychic type, so I don't really know what to expect. I'm kind of thinking, what could our opponent be playing? Maybe it's some sort of Seismitoad deck? I don't know. Okay, we start off with a Riolu, which is wonderful, so that doesn't mean that we start off with an unknown that's stuck in there. Okay, our opponent is playing... Ooh, red card, okay. So I do want to play this unknown down, I guess, because that's Diggersby. What the hell is our opponent playing? Is this some sort of rogue deck? Don't really know. Another mulligan, huh? What does this guy do? Put 2 item cards from this card pile into your hand, and then Flip a coin to not take damage. Okay, that seems... I don't know. I don't really know what to think. Okay, it seems like our opponent has found a basic, but we are going to draw some cards here. We might get hand, we might get red card, but we are going to play this unknown down because of that. Okay, our opponent starts with a Trubbish. So Trubbish kind of sucks. That kind of means that our unknowns, after he builds the Garbodor, are going to be useless, so might as well use this guy like next turn. Okay, Ultra Ball. Kind of curious of what our opponent is playing. See him discarding a Puzzle of Time. Oh, that's interesting. Maybe he has a Sycamore in hand. Yeah, but he's going for a Shaman, so don't really know what to think here. Okay, we see a Battle Compressor coming out. I don't know, if you're going to play the Shaman, I think having the Puzzle of Time is better. I don't know. Okay, we see some supporters getting discarded. Our opponent uses Setup for 3, which is fine, I guess. It's like a very good Tierno. And we see a Trainer's Mail coming down. Maybe finds a tool, maybe finds a supporter. I think he has supporters. Oh, I see a Puzzle of Time. See, if he had the other Puzzle of Time, he could just play them both here. Maybe he does have them. I don't know. Let's see what our opponent does. But if that's the case, he's going to be spending 3 time puzzles this turn. Okay, no, so he's just rearranging the deck. And we see an X-Maniac. Ah, ouch. That kind of sucks because we can't use the unknown now. And we can't Shaman. And we have to find an energy. I think that's the most important thing here. So, what do I do? What do I do? I think I can play Robosub. Oh, it's an item, so we have to put them up there. Okay. I'm going to put them both down. And I'm going to play the Ultra... No, I'm just going... I don't know. I think I'd rather keep the Ultra Ball in hand. Yeah. And I don't really want to discard all those Lysanders, so maybe I could discard one and... I don't know. We did find an energy, which is great here, so... Let's just put it down, and yeah, I think I'm going to pass the turn. I'm not going to play another unknown because I think we're getting stuck with this one here. With the opponent X-Minic, so we couldn't use it, and I was just probably going to be building his Garbodor anyway, so we don't really have a chance to use our unknown. So yeah, we see a Floatstone coming down, and we see an evolution of that Garbodor, so our opponent has it all, it seems. Oh, Ultra Ball. So is he going to start building his Diggersby or something? Diggersby evolves from... Oh, we see a Seismitoad. Ouch, that sucks. I wasn't expecting that, actually. Yeah, I guess that's what the water meant. Well, it doesn't hurt us too much. We can just Sycamore next turn and draw into a Lucario and an Energy, I guess. And that's... really good, or at least decent. Well, what is our opponent? Oh, so he's going for an N. Okay. We are shuffling our hand. I'm kind of scared of that. I really need to draw a Sycamore. Ugh. We do get the energy, but we don't get the Lucario. And our opponent is going to item lock us, so no way that we can play this Ultra Ball. I guess we could Lysa. Oh, man. And he hits us with a hammer. Yeah, this is going south really quickly. Really quickly. Don't really know what I can do here. That Seismitoad also has an Art Charm, so there's no point in attacking with Bryolo. Oh man. And my opponent even draws the AZ. Oh god, I was thinking about Lysandering out his Shaman, but now I don't even know. I mean, 30 to our Ryola. Oh, we draw a Sycamore. That's awesome. Let's just play the energy. Play this thing because why the hell not? And then play the Sycamore. Actually, our opponents showed us delinquent, so maybe we shouldn't have played this, but oh well, doesn't matter. Let's just put the Lucario down, and we can actually attack for 50, which is 30 because of the hard charm, but oh well, Vacuum Wave, better than nothing. So let's just use it here, and 30 damage to that Seismitoad. I'm just kind of buying some time, but this is definitely a hard position because we need to draw a lot of stuff. Actually, we need Sycamore, I guess, would be perfect because would allow us to start building another Lucario in the bench while maybe getting an energy just to be able to attack with this one. Team Flare Grunt, oh okay. Yeah, my opponent is getting rid of all of our energy, so... Perfect game, right? Okay, so let's put this guy down. We could use the Lucario, but our opponent is just going to draw more cards out of that Shaman, so I meant Lysander. We could Lysander out the Shaman, but our opponent would just draw more cards because he has the AZ in hand. It showed it to us. Maybe we draw an N or something, so I don't think it's wise to just use the Lysander in here. After this Lucario dies, I am definitely going to be throwing that Unknown into the active and have my opponent just kill it. I know he's taking prizes, but I'd rather just keep the Robo Subs because all of a sudden I can just discard them all and just build our Riolu and turn it into a Lucario. And I think that would be awesome. Our opponent, what is he getting? Okay, it's a Bunnelby. And I think he spent 3 puzzles at this point, so we're not going to be seeing any Puzzle of Time shenanigans. And he's benching a lot of stuff also. I think here, as I said, we will promote the Unknown. And I think I'll actually Lysander out that Bunnelby. Yeah. This will force my opponent to use the Lysander. Sorry, the AZ, and he's going to discard that Hard Charm. It's not too much, but it's something. I mean, if I draw into another Lysander, I can use it again, and then my opponent does not have that AZ in hand. So I'm just trying to get rid of some of his resources because he's not putting a lot of pressure on us. I mean, it's annoying to be getting knocked out by Seismitoad, but at the same time, I cannot... I can buy my time, so here I'm just going to pass the turn and throw some Robo Subs into his face. Maybe we draw into the Lucario pretty soon. My opponent evolves into Diggersby. And we see a Faded Town coming down. Okay, that doesn't bother us too much, so... Quaking Punch. So my opponent is drawing a prize here. And we are promoting one of our Robo Subs. And now I'm just thinking that maybe I just want to put the... Okay, so we got an energy. That's cool. Do I put the Unknown down? Yeah, I mean, having another energy on the Lucario would be so great here. That I think we can just throw some Unknowns at his face. Like, let him take some prizes, but... we're also... just drawing into our deck, so the item lock won't bother us that much, right? Because we're drawing cards from the deck. It's slow, but there's really nothing else that we could do here anyway, so that definitely not going to promote that Riolu if I can avoid it. Our opponent uses Quaking Punch, so he's killing our Unknown next turn. And that's good. So I'm faced with a very interesting decision here because I can just let this Unknown die, promote the Robo Sub, and then end our opponent to 3, and we draw 6. And so the thing is, if I play this Unknown, I might be able to let my opponent just go down to 2 prizes, and then I play the N, right? But yeah, this is hard. I don't know. Yeah, I'm just going to pass here. So he's going to kill our Unknown, and we can just end him to 3, and hopefully... Oh, Lysander. Oh boy. Okay, so we kind of lose our energy here because I think I'm going to retreat. Yeah, no way I'm going to end him to 4. I'm just going to retreat into the unknown. Still not killing this guy. And I'm going to put the other unknown down. I think I need the time because it just got rid of another one of our energies, basically. And I am going to try to go down to 2 prizes because that would allow us to just go with 1 Lucario and having him, if he kills that Lucario, we just, okay. So he's going to Lysander out the Riolu again. Kind of means that we're going to lose that guy pretty soon. This is a battle against time. Maybe this game is a little boring for you guys, but this is... Okay, so we drew a Lucario, which means 2 extra turns, so I'm going to put it down. Once again, I need the time, and this is 2 extra turns, so definitely going to... I mean, it's only 1 extra turn, because he would be still taking 1 turn to knock us out, and now he needs 2, so... Alright, and we're getting knocked out next turn. Maybe we get an energy or something. Okay, we got a Riolu, which I don't think I should be playing now because I don't have an energy in hand anyway, so yeah, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to let him kill our guys. He doesn't have any great Lysander targets, so I'm just going to let him just take some prizes, and then we are going to end him, hopefully, to a very bad position. This is definitely scary, but I think it's the best that we can do right now. Oh boy. Having Robosub around is super good because we can just throw it in there and he's not killing that at all, so... Nope, I don't think I'll play this thing yet. Yeah, it takes a prize, but yeah, I think it's better to play this way. I mean, it definitely is slow, but it's such a grinding game. I'm actually holding on to my share really strongly here, so I'm actually having fun. So I'm going to promote this thing now. I think I'm going to end him to 2. Oh, we got a Sycamore, yeah, but I think N is just better here. Just going for that. Yeah, I wanna play it. Let's see. Ugh, no Lucario, but we do find the energy, so I'm going to put it down and see what happens here. Would love to find a Lucario there, but oh well. Super Rod from my opponent. I haven't seen a lot of Pokemon from him, so I don't know if he's... I see Diggersby, and that's it? Okay. Yeah, I didn't see him discard a lot of Pokemon. And he actually has a lot less cards than we do, so... Maybe we can deck him out, I don't know. I don't think that's going to be... CVS Secret for Lysander again! Oh, come on, man! Ugh, and he's bringing Riolu into the active. Okay. I don't even know if I retreat here. I mean, let's see. He has played 1 Lysander. Maybe he has another one. We can retreat and just give him this guy and just play this thing here. Yeah, I'm getting really low on resources. But I don't think we can realistically do anything here other than just... man, this is super scary, but... Yeah, I need to draw something. I don't have many turns, but I do have some, so let's count our turns. We have another one from Unknown, and then he kills the Robosub, and then it takes 2 turns to kill our Riolu. So in that time, we need to draw something good out of our deck. Preferably something like an N or a Sycamore. Oh, that's not good. I just play the stadium there because in case our opponent plays something like a Judge or stuff like that, or an N even, we don't want to draw the stadium again. It's pretty innocuous at this point, so... And Sycamore, yes! Whew, right on time. I mean, maybe we draw everything we need here. Okay, we got the energy and we got the Lucario, yay! Are we going to do it? We're definitely killing the Seismitoad here. I mean, we're just dealing a lot of damage to that thing. Fight alone. Bam! It's 4 times 6 plus 30 plus minus... 250 minus 20 because of the hard charm. And we draw a Lucario and a Riolu, which is nice. It's... I don't even know if I put them down. I guess I can, because if he's going to kill our Lucario, we can just retreat into them. But I don't know. At this point, I think it's going to be hard for my opponent to kill our Lucario. I mean, he needs to find his DCEs, which he must have a million of. I think I only got rid of one. So, okay, so he puts a Float Stone on that Shaymin, and he plays a Sycamore. So let's see. He has played 4 via Seeker. So that's nice. But I haven't seen a lot of DCE from him, so we must have them around somewhere. And he's evolving all his stuff into his Diggersby. I don't really care too much about the attacks from the Diggersby. I mean, putting 2 items into his hand is good, but... Okay, we got an AZ, so we can... What can we do? We can put this guy down and the EXP share, just because we have it. And I think our plan now is just to Lysander out that Shaymin and kill it, and then find a target whistle and Lysander it out again. So we can also end him to 1. But yeah, I think just sticking to our plan and just Lysandering 2 Shaymins is going to grant us the win. I don't really care too much about his cards. Let's see what happens. Because he still needs to get rid of that Lucario. So it doesn't really matter if he has a lot of cards. He hasn't shown us a lot of 1-hit KO potential. We drew 2 Trainer's Mail, so I hope he doesn't have another Seismitoad, because that would prevent us from using our Trainer's Mail. But as I was saying, because it doesn't have a lot of 1-hit KO potential, I think we aren't too scared of the end of what he might have in his hand. So I think an end to 1 is just worse than just going for the Lysander here. I have played both Lysander, but I do have a couple of Via Seekers left. So hopefully we can turn all this Trainer's Mail into a win next turn. So we just need to find Target Whistle, and we need to find a Lysander, or a Via Seeker, I mean. So that's what we're going to be looking for here. Let's see what happens. So he promotes the Garbodor. There's really not much that I'm scared of. I mean, he could end us, but at the same time, if he... Okay, so that's kind of annoying, but not too bad, I guess. I guess if he played N, it would suck, especially if he also has a DCE, but if he doesn't, I think he's in big trouble, because... Oh no, come on. That one is, in fact, scary. He's playing the hammer. And it fails. Whoa, that was nice. That was close. He's just evolving all of his Bunnelbys into Diggersby. And he's playing Delinquent. Okay. Doesn't bother us too much, so we just discard these 2. And I don't really know. I mean, I don't think I need a Lucario, but at the same time, I don't think I need a Sycamore. If we just draw nicely next turn, of course, he might just... His last 2 cards could be a DC and a Seismitoad, and that would suck. But if he did play them, we were going to knock out the Seismitoad in a single hit. Anyway, so yeah, that wouldn't make much difference, I guess. My opponent is getting rid of a lot of cards. He's having trouble finding the DC, I guess. That's kind of lucky on his part. On our part, sorry. But at the same time, if he doesn't have another Seismitoad, he's just getting destroyed here. Because we can just do whatever we want here. We can just play all the Trainer's Mail and find the knockout. Nope. So I guess we get the... guess I'll go for the Super Rod. Yeah, it doesn't matter too much, to be honest. I just need to find a Via Seeker here. Hopefully, Via Seeker, maybe. Yay, Via Seeker. We have it. That's the win, I guess. Right? I mean, I'm going to put all of these things down just because I can. But yeah, this is just Target Whistle, get the Shaymin in the bench, and play the Via Seeker, and our opponent is probably going to concede here. Oh, he's not conceding. Okay, we'll just go ahead and Lysander out that Shaymin, and bam, fight alone for the knockout. That was awesome. We got down to one prize. My opponent got down to one prize before we even started taking prizes, and we still managed to win. Once we got rid of that size method, it just went downhill from there, I guess. And we just take knockout after knockout, and we just needed to take 3 knockouts really, because we are knocking out EXs and we are using target whistle to bring them back. So I guess that was a super cool match. I think it was kind of grindy, so that's a little bit boring, but at the same time it was a nail biter, so you never knew until the very last end who was going to win. And I like those matches. Tell me what you guys think about this deck, and I guess the match itself, and I guess I'll see you next time. Bye.